Grains and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable. This is actually Unshakable on the Road. Really quickly, I wanted to lend my thoughts on the viral Kamala Harris video of former Madam VP doing the boots on the ground line dance.
So how are you in this moment maintaining your Black joy?
Listen, I feel very blessed. I have an incredible husband who is here right now. Hey, Doug. And an incredible circle of friends who are family. And I think it's just important to be with, those people who love you and care about you and get you.
Have you learned the boots on the ground dance yet?
I have not. You know what? I know. Will you teach me?
I will.
Okay, I'm serious. We can do it together.
You serious?
I'm very serious.
Okay, we will get this after that.
All
right, sway. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now cross. All right, there we go.
Now, let's be clear. I'm not a hater, right? Like, I can objectively look at that video and see Kamala laughing and being joyful and having a great time. And believe it or not, she surprised me. Sis has rhythm, and she did the boots on the ground dance. She didn't make the full turn, but the steps that she did a very good job. Now, I don't know if it took her 1 hour or 1 week to learn the steps that she learned, but I'm not going to take away from her that it was so good to see the former vice president, who I did not and would have never ever in 1,511 years voted for, to see her in such a humanized element, just doing a dance that is wildly popular, that a lot of people have said is difficult to do. I don't think it is, but to see her do that and to do that dance, I was like, you go, sis. You go, Cam. I was rooting for Cam, and when she did it, I was like, okay, sis, I see you. Now, here's my political take. I don't have an issue with them documenting Kamala Harris. I don't know if she's vying for a 2028 run or anything like that. I hope not. Lord have mercy. Please don't let that be the case. But here's the issue that I have. Democrats are very good at faking it until you making it, selling you on a narrative that is very low on substance. Low on substance, but high on the feels, right? It's all about, how did this person make me feel? We know that to be true because that's how Barack Obama got into office, right? Now, the difference between Kamala and Barack is that Barack knew enough about the Black community and the policies and the ideals that mattered enough to us to be able to fake his way through and to lead us to believe that he was the change that we could believe in. The difference between Barack and Kamala is that she is a dyed-in-the-wool, true blue, leftist progressive. And she didn't have the authenticity. Well, I know that's an oxymoron, what I was about to say. She couldn't even fake it. Like, she couldn't hide her progressivism enough to convince enough of the American population that she wasn't as leftist and progressive as she really was. But here's what that boots on the ground video is going to do for her. Or should I say, had she done it on the campaign trail, it might have helped a little bit. That video is very good at fooling the individuals who don't need substance anyway, who have never thought deeply about the issues that our country is currently facing, and who are willing to cast their vote for the symbolism of it all, because how you make them feel versus what are you actually doing that's going to positively impact me in any measurable way, they put more emphasis on how you made them feel than what you're actually accomplishing. So let me give you some demographics. I'll start with the demographic of Black women. That boots on the ground video is going to absolutely appeal and pull on the heartstrings of the yes queens, queens with the K, sister girl chicks who they don't need to know if you can negotiate your way out of a wet paper bag, right? They don't need to know that you can sit down with a head of state and hold your own and represent the American people and advocate for the interests of the American people. They don't care about that. All they care about is, did you see Kamala do the boots on the ground dance? And because she did it and looked as if she was like one of our aunties or our cousins that we always looked to and admired because she was pretty with the nice hair and a slim figure, that's enough to earn their vote. And it says more about Black women than it does about Kamala. Because if all I gotta do is learn a dance in order to build or earn some credibility with a particular demographic, then I'm just gonna do more of that. But when you think substantively and deeper about this, and you look past the smoke and mirrors, right? When you look past the hair, when you look past the rhythm and how she could do the little two-step and, look the part, she is still an empty shell that lacks the skill set needed to represent and lead this country into American ingenuity and prosperity. She just can't do it. If all we need is someone to be able to clap on the 2 and the 4, they'll be able to clap on beat. I mean, if that's good enough for you, then I could see and understand why you would vote for somebody like a Kamala. But the rest of America, we don't look at a person's ability to pick up on cultural references and to be down. We don't look at that as a litmus test to determine whether you're going to be an effective leader or not. I'll tell you this. A lot of women, particularly Black women, because many of us are single and we don't have a point of reference for having the masculine component feeding us into our lives feeding us wisdom. I'll say that, feeding us wisdom and making us think through these things. We'll fall for that. But then there's another component of Black America, a small minority of us, women, and this is a broad sweeping statement. This doesn't apply to everyone, because I know there's some married women who they're running the ship, they're in charge, so they don't listen to their husbands anyway. But let's say, for example, if I had saw Kamala on the campaign trail. Let's say I'm a centrist or a libertarian, or I'm a liberal, but I could be persuaded. Her doing that, I might have a moment of where I'm not thinking clearly, and that might be enough for her to earn my vote. But then if someone were to ask me, well, why are you supporting Kamala? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, oh, she just seems so relatable and down to earth. I can just, see her being the commander in chief. That wasn't the question. It was like, what about her candidacy makes her qualified to do the job? My answer would be deficient. I wouldn't have a substantive answer to say, well, I saw the way when she, was the attorney general and she negotiated XYZ, or when she was a senator, when she introduced this bill, and this is how this bill helped move the needle forward for the betterment of her constituents. Like, we can't point to policies. We can only point to how she made us feel. And it looks as if Kamala is learning from her mistakes on the campaign trail, which was, no one believes you, you appear inauthentic, you don't seem approachable, no one really liked you, you need to work on that. It looks like she's been working on that, because in that video, She seemed very warm and friendly, and she wasn't as stiff and rehearsed. It was like she was in her element. And I applaud her for that little bit of growth between the campaign and now. But guess what? That's not enough to be the president. Okay? That's not enough to be the president. That's not enough to do a myriad of things that require strong leadership. Right? That's not enough. It's not enough for me, and it's not enough for the vast majority of Americans in this country, regardless of their ethnic distinction. And so I just wanted to come and give my thoughts on, I thought it was a phenomenal display of humanizing someone that functioned like a robot, an empty suit on the campaign trail. And now we're seeing her in a more human, down-to-earth light that appeared authentic, even though you can't really tell and you don't really know. But I wanted to highlight how the symbolism of it all, it's just more symbolism. It's not substance. And right now, the crisis that America is in, we need somebody, I need particularly Christians to look and say, it's nice for us to have somebody like a Barack Obama who made us feel good. Like if we assess Barack Obama's campaign slogan, it really didn't have any substance. What is hope and change? Hope and what and change for what? We didn't know until he got in there, right? Or the reason why JFK was so popular, right? It wasn't the policies. It was the man had good hair and he was nice looking, right? A lot of people can be hoodwinked by the symbolism. But I am hoping that Christians in particular will look past how someone makes them feel, right? Don't judge by the externals and the appearance, but judge with righteous judgment and ask deeper questions. What are the policies that you intend to enact or to implement that are going to help all Americans as it relates to our economic prosperity, our national sovereignty, and our security? And just how are you going to protect us from our enemies, foreign and domestic, right? The reason why we can't trust Kamala is because she's the one who opened up the doors and welcomed all of our enemies to come on our soil, unlawfully. And that's a problem. So, in summary, Cam, you did that thing, girl. You did it. I was proud of you. I was like, you better step. The only thing you needed was a fan. Now, I would have liked to see her do the little hip with the fan. I wanted to see that to see if she really had it in her. But outside of that, that's all it did for me. It was nice. It was entertaining. It was, you still would never get my vote. I still don't like you as a politician. But as a chick to go out, to brunch with, hey, she seemed cool as a fan. But the combination of her being cool as a fan and the fan from the boots on the ground, that's not enough to get me to vote for you. So I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Do you think that video gave her any more brownie points? Well, we know it gave her brownie points with black women. But the sad part is that's more of an indictment on black women. Like, that's all it takes is somebody to do a little line dance to get your vote. How shallow have we become? But if you thought it was just a nice display of a former politician just having a good time, or do you think there was more to it? Is she trying to show America that she's just like us and that this is what she does in her spare time? She does line dances and hangs out with black gay men. Notice how she was with a sodomite. Don't miss that detail. She's still who she is. She is still who she is. But if you like, I hated it, it was horrible, I don't care what she does, I'd never vote for her. Or if you like, I still ain't voting for her, but I think she did a good job. Whichever opinion you hold, leave it down for me in the comments below. And until next time, stay unshakable. Grace and peace.